We're in a fight for our freedoms, and the world seems to have gone crazy. People are believing crazy nonsense. How on earth do we win this battle? So here is the number one strategy we must be employing if we're going to win this. Because if you've noticed, statistics don't seem to be doing the trick. And that's because people don't primarily make decisions logically. Any good marketer understands that people primarily make decisions emotionally and then justify them logically. So I was in a meeting with our local freedom group, and we were wrestling through how do we convince people, how do we get the truth out there in a way that they'll listen and understand. And I was really working through this. And then I started looking at everyone in the room and thinking about why they were there. And I realized the reason they were there was not because of some really well articulated article or some statistics they had read. It was because they had had a personal experience. And that personal experience was dissonant with what the media and the government was telling them. And then when I thought about all the people in the big city half an hour from us, I realized their experience was very different than our small town experience, and that they weren't experiencing the same dissonant things that we were experiencing. And so when shown facts and data and all kinds of brilliant arguments, those arguments that seemed so compelling to us were dissonant with their experience. And their experience was mostly made up in an emotional narrative from the media. They were seeing highly emotional stories of people suffering and emotional statistics and graphs of people dying. And then based on that emotion, making a decision and then justifying it logically with the data that the government was giving them. Whereas out in our small town, we were having a very different emotional experience. In our small town, no one was dying. No one was getting sick, but people were losing their jobs. Our businesses were closing. People were committing suicide. Emotional and mental issues were through the roof. And when we compared that to the narrative that the media and the government was giving us, we made an emotional decision that we then justified logically with different data. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not saying that we can't objectively look at the issues and determine the truth and find out what's actually going on, and that everything is just relative. But what I am saying is that it gives us a clue as to how we should be fighting this battle. And if you've been fighting this battle for any amount of time, I am sure you're fully aware how frustrating it is to give people the truth, real data, the real information, point out the errors, point out the lies, and them just to give you deer in the headlights looks and say, you're crazy. That's a conspiracy theory. And also don't hear what I'm not saying. Data and the truth really, really matter. They're really important. But in many cases, I think we've been stepping out with the wrong foot forward. What we need to be doing as freedom loyalists is thinking about how to engage the culture, the people around us, in an actual strategic way. Engaging first with emotion, connecting with our audience, and engaging people with emotion first. Connecting with them in a way that makes them sympathetic, so that now they're willing to hear the truth and actually weigh what's going on and make a clear, coherent decision. This is why the media and the government spend so much time villainizing and making us the bad guys, because they know that emotion leads decision making. And so as much as we need to be writing articles and making videos and holding rallies and putting the truth out there, if we actually want to be heard and not just have the information bounce off their heads, we must find ways to create sympathy. We must position ourselves as the good guy. We must win hearts first, and then we will get permission to engage with their minds. If you are a lover of freedom and you are concerned about the current state of freedom in the world and the future we are leaving to our children, then I have more videos just like this one. Don't keep this video to yourself. Please consider sharing it so that it can encourage others as well. Stay loyal, stay free. Until next time.